GPC Summit May 2018. Welcome back. I have the pleasure to have next to me Aleyda, Solis, founder Orainti. Hello.
Hello, how are you? Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you for joining us. How was the event?
It's very good. I'm actually very impressed to see so many people joining, and of course the hall is very impressive. The finish is very impressive too. I have had an amazing time, and I enjoyed quite a lot to present today.
I'm very happy to hear that. What are the main ideas that you hope the audience will remember from your presentation?
Yes, ideally what I would like them to remember are the main criteria and steps that they should make sure that they comply with in order to be not only optimized from a user perspective, mobile user perspective, but also to make sure that they are as optimized as possible for Google Mobile First Index, right? So all of the content that they have been delivering and showing and optimizing in desktop before also lives in their mobile versions, and they make sure that this is also making the most out of every little aspect of the behavior that the user have on mobile to connect with them in the best possible way.
What does it mean, mobile first index? What's the impact? What should online shops expect from this?
Yes, well, Google until now, they had been crawling, indexing, accessing and ranking our desktop versions, our desktop pages. So they tried to simulate and replicate what the user did with their desktop versions of their site or the site pages. And this made sense before because most of the people use desktop devices. Now most of the people use mobile devices to browse and to search too. So Google what is doing now is to say, okay, since people are using mobile devices to search, what I am going to do is to index and access and rank your mobile pages, right? So this is why it is critical to not only have a mobile-friendly website, but also make sure that everything is optimized as much as possible to be able to continue ranking well there. Yeah.
We have many online shops that are watching this video, so many of them have a small budget when it comes to marketing or tools they should acquire in order to do a better job in their marketing efforts. So my question is, what are the tools that you would recommend them using in order to be better prepared and to rank higher?
Yes, well, definitely they should crawl their website. Like there are crawlers that are very, very cheap. Screaming Frog is the cheapest crawler I think in the market, and also one of the most best used because it's so easy to use. But then you need to tweak a few things and add a few extra filters in order to validate all of this, right? And do a few crawls. And of course, there are like more enterprise level crawlers like Deep Crawl that they will directly crawl and be able to show you this configuration that I'm talking about in the reports directly, saving you lots of time, right? So it's about like how much, yeah, indeed, budget do you have in order to invest in a tool that will save you tons of time, or if you have more time availability but cannot afford a bigger tool, and then you will use these other ones instead. So I will say that what is fundamental is to have initially, like, the most important tool is to be registered in the Google Search Console from Google, which is free.
Yes.
And then I would say access to Google Analytics to also identify a few symptoms of problems or the behavior of your user over there, adding mobile segmentations also through the mobile reports, and then a good crawler. A crawler can be very cheap as Screaming Frog, or it can be a little bit, require a bit more of an investment like Deep Crawl, but again, it will save you tons of time. So it will be, I think that there's an option for everybody here.
No excuse. Yes, of course. What's your piece of advice when it comes to content marketing and video marketing, especially? Does it take a different approach when it comes to SEO? When we use a lot of video on our product pages, in our blog, in our articles, and so on and so forth.
So what is important here first is the video that they load quick.
Okay.
Now it's speed, especially mobile speed now. When the mobile first index will become a ranking factor on mobiles. And let's remember that there are like more more important restrictions from a speed perspective here. So first and foremost, to load very quick, right? And then, of course, like indeed, the content that is in the video that we are talking about here, what is important that is not overlooked by the Google bot. So we should be ideally having a really good description of what the video is about, including ideally even like
a full transcript.
Not only a footer, a transcript, I will say, of the whole conversation, for example. Then a good title, a good description. The file of the video should be also something relevant with a few keywords of what we are talking about. So it's the relevance best practices that we already know about of having text content there. So it's much more straightforward for Google to understand what is this content is about.
What do you think about voice search? How will this evolve in the near future?
Well, I have to say something. Everybody expected to have a boom with these additional devices like the Amazon Echo, right, or Google Home. Realistically, quite a few people already they use voice search directly with Siri or with the
Google Assistant
tool, etc. Right, with many devices. I have to say, we have been doing our work well until now. We shouldn't be expecting actually a further problem. I like that every time that someone asks about how we can or we should be able to get voice search keywords or data in the Google Search Console to John Muir, he said what you will be doing with it, would you be doing any different? And realistically, I see his point. We should be always delivering relevant content. Most likely, the search behavior that we see with voice are longer, much better structure type of questions, right?
Yes.
Not 2 or 3 type of terms.
Maybe a smart search would be ideal.
Indeed.
Yes.
So what we should do, we should address with our content this type of much more specific queries. Make sure that is well formatted in a way that it can be sometimes even featured as a Google answer. The answer 0 results, right? To use structured data to make sure that Google understands the meaning of the content that we're delivering, right? So I think it's more about how we generate the content to address better these more granular questions, more specific questions on this side to start thinking more about entities and topics instead of terms and keywords, right? But again, this is stuff that we shouldn't be waiting for to change somehow with voice search, right? That we should be doing or have been doing all this time to connect better with our users in the best possible way. And it is like this, yeah.
If you were to give a small piece of advice for all those online shops watching this video, what would that be?
Prioritize SEO. I will say that the number one tip, the number one action that I cannot I really believe that if you are a shop, the main problem, the main issue I see is that in many cases you are selling the exact same product than thousands of other shops, right? Like if you're providing electronics, the same electronic is being provided by many other shops. So first issue that I see is differentiation. So the first tip here that I will give is to differentiate yourself, give something unique. So even if you are selling, let's say, I don't know, some glasses, or if you're selling a MacBook Pro, there are 1,000 others that are offering MacBook Pros. What is your unique selling proposition? Why should I be buying from you? And so you should reflect that on your content. You should be reflecting that on your product pages or the category pages in order not only to be more effective with your clients or potential visitors and users, but also to rank better, right? I really believe in this alignment of all the efforts and to connect SEO to what should be your main marketing drivers. So think what is your unique selling proposition to differentiate yourself, to make your content unique, to make what can you feature in your product pages to actually sell and to actually make them to stand out in the results and to be the one place to buy from. This is the first thing. The other thing is complexity on the web structure. Very likely, usually shops has very complex internal web structures, taxonomies, categories, subcategories, filters, pages, paginations, etc. get them, like you need to do very good technical SEO to make sure that you don't waste your crawl budget, that the pages that are linked and you incentivize Google to crawl are correctly linked, so that you should be incentivized because these are your top categories, that your listings and your category pages actually rank for when people look for a specific type of products, and not when they are looking for a specific product, where it should be the product page ranking. So a lot of content cannibalization and duplication issues is also very common for shops.
Yes.
Should be addressed to. So I will say, first, make sure that you stand out, because very likely you will be selling something that is sold also by many other websites. Very likely,
yes.
Sadly. Second, get your technical SEO, your organization, just web structure correctly set and configured to make sure that Google crawls and index and prioritize these areas that you want to rank with. And then you need to make sure to avoid content cannibalization and duplication issues, even internally within your listings, categories, subcategories, with filters, paginations, and all this should be correctly tagged, should be correctly canonicalized, and also to differentiate well the queries that you address at every single level of your shop.
Aleyda, thank you so much for all the insights. I hope you enjoyed the event and Romania as well, and I really hope I will see you again in the near future.
Oh, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you.